Are you feeling stressed, exhausted, burnt out, and like you cannot remember for the life of you how to relax? Well, in today's video, we'll go through some key things about restorative yoga practices. If we're meeting again or for the very first time, welcome to Eat and Live Free. My name is Alisia Young, and on this channel, we go through mindful movement practices. I also like to discuss overcoming emotional eating and junk food dependence on this channel, along with different nutrition and fitness topics. If that sounds like what you're interested in, feel free to subscribe and click the bell to be notified of new videos. So in this video, we're going to be talking about how to practice restorative yoga, along with some common props for restorative yoga and some of the benefits of restorative yoga. You'll also see in the link below, there is a practice that you can do from the comfort of your home. There will be some props required, and those props will be mentioned in this video, although you won't need all of those props for the practice. So let's get started. Restorative yoga is a really great practice for when you are wanting to relax, calm down, especially if you're feeling very stressed or even burnt out or scattered. And when it comes to restorative yoga, there are some things about this practice that differ from others, especially when it comes to yin yoga, because these two are often compared and contrasted. In the description below, you can find a link to a video where I explained a bit about yin yoga. So when it comes to restorative yoga, firstly, we want to be holding the poses for 3 to 20 minutes. And this is because we want to allow ourselves to fully relax into the pose. And with that being said, props are highly recommended for restorative yoga practice. So for those props, they include bolsters, which are also dense pillows if you don't have a bolster. You can also use blocks as well. You can use straps, depending on the pose. You're also able to use chairs to support you. You can use walls as well. If you have an eye pillow, that can be beneficial. And things that will help you feel more comfortable. For example, sandbags, if you want to have more weight placed on any parts of your body. You can have towels and blankets, and also layers, like for example, sweaters or blankets that you can put over yourself. Because often when you are becoming more relaxed, your body temperature can come down as you're in a more relaxed state. And so it's helpful, especially in your shavasana, so your final rest, to have things that can make you feel more comfortably warm if needed. Now let's talk about the environment, since we are talking about temperature. So you want to make sure that it's a comfortable temperature, not too hot, not too cold. I tend to lean more towards liking it a little bit cooler because I like to bring my sweater and blankets. It feels very comforting for me. You'll also want to be in a quiet environment. We did discuss in the yin yoga video that there's different thoughts out there about whether or not to incorporate music into yoga practices. But for restorative yoga practices, it's commonly recommended to not use any music and to practice in pure silence. The idea is that when we listen to silence, it's more helpful for our body to become relaxed, and we can achieve a deeper state of relaxation. This is also because sometimes music can serve as a distraction away from the practice, and we want to really be focusing on tuning inward when it comes to our yoga practices. So why practice restorative yoga? What are the benefits? We talked about some of them before. For example, relaxation, especially if you're very stressed, frazzled, burned out. If you're dealing with thoughts like very anxious related thoughts or depressive thoughts, it can be helpful. This is a form of movement and time spent with yourself that can be beneficial for that. It can also be helpful for chronic pain, for example, headaches and migraines. It can be helpful for sleep, and that could be connected to the effect that it has on helping us to cope with stress and to manage our stress. But also with sleep, if you're finding you're dealing with insomnia, or if you're trying to sleep and you just can't stay asleep, or you're having trouble falling asleep, practicing this form of yoga can be beneficial for that over time. This practice can be a toolbox in your life to achieve a more peaceful state of mind, to also be more patient, especially because sometimes we can be stressed because things are not going the way that we want them to go. when we want them to go, so that stress can come from that agitation and lack of acceptance. It can also help with concentration as well, especially from the attention that it takes to sustain the poses and just being focused on the poses. Also, with this practice, as mentioned, the holding the poses can range from 3 to 20 minutes each. And so we want to be focusing on the quality, not quantity. It's not really important to have a whole bunch of poses in the practice. It's about choosing the right ones based on what you're aiming to achieve and enjoying each one to the fullest. And as part of the enjoyment, a key goal with restorative yoga is that we're not trying to feel any sensations. We're really wanting to relax completely. And the props help us to do that. We want to be able to get into the furthest form of safe flexibility as we can in the poses by relying on the props. And that supports us in relieving tension. And that's a major reason that restorative yoga helps us to become more rested and more restored. So if you have any other questions or curiosities about restorative yoga, feel free to comment or reach out to me. This is one of the forms of yoga that I focus on teaching. I also encourage you to check the link in the description for a sample class that you can experience with me so you can give it a go yourself. Thank you for tuning in and see you next time.